Heartbreak in Bethel. A school building goes up in flames. We'll have the latest on how that community is dealing with this emotional loss.
Questioning the detective, a former investigator in the Fairbanks 4 case gets grilled on the witness stand.
Halfway home now, the governor's efforts to buy into the gas line project passes a major hurdle.
And in her own words, a woman who escaped heroin addiction gives a message of hope.
You're watching KTUU, Channel 2, Anchorage, Alaska's news source. And now, the state's #1 evening news team. This is the Channel 2 News Late Edition.
I'd say about, half the freaking school is burned down.
That was a student of the Kilbook school building that burned in Bethel earlier today.
Residents woke to find 75-foot flames coming from the 55-year-old building.
Good evening, everyone. That early morning fire destroyed most of the Kilbuck building in Bethel that houses both a UPIC immersion and boarding school.
Channel 2's Dan Carpenter is in Bethel tonight with the latest on the extent of the damage and how it will impact the students who go to that school.
This half of the Kilbuck building is completely destroyed. This section here belonged to the UPIC immersion program. The building was also shared by a boarding school. Combined, they have 300 students enrolled. The Lower Kuskokwim School District says fire alarms went off at 3:30 a.m. The Bethel Fire Department arrived to find smoke coming from the building. The fire would quickly grow as it spread into the ceiling. According to the fire department, no one was injured. The full strength of the blaze was captured on many cameras as Bethel residents woke to see billowing clouds of smoke and flames high above the building. In an urgent effort to save UPIC artifacts, a backhoe was used to split the building in two. The Lower Yukon Kuskokwim School District says dorms for the boarding school have been evacuated, leaving 40 students with only the clothes on their backs.
This incident is just devastating to the city of Bethel, to the Lower Kuskokwim School District. We've had reports of children watching this and crying.
The community came together to find housing for the students that have been displaced. It's still unknown what the extent of the damage is to the portion of the school that did survive, whether it be smoke or water damage. It's too early to say what caused this fire. Reporting from Bethel, Dan Carpenter, Channel 2 News.
From his hometown of Barrow to all across the state of Alaska, he was known as an icon of the World Eskimo Indian Olympics. Big Bob Aiken, a legendary athlete at WEO, passed away this morning. Friends and competitors nicknamed him the world's largest Eskimo because of his size and strength, but also because of his passion for the traditional games and his encouragement for other athletes through the years. Aiken won 6 gold medals in the Eskimo stick pull event. Friends say he was and always will be known as the man to beat in that event. Aiken's contributions to WEO went well beyond athletics. He served as a coach and MC for many of the events. Robert Big Bob Aiken was 62 years old. You can learn more about him by going to the story on our website at KTUU.com.
A Wasilla woman suffered life-threatening injuries today when her pickup truck was involved in a crash with a semi. The crash happened at mile 51 of the Parks Highway just after 11 o'clock this morning. Troopers say a semi driving southbound lost control and jackknifed when it was slowing to avoid a truck entering the road. Alaska State Troopers say the driver of the pickup, 68-year-old Beverly Marple, was trapped in the wreckage. She was removed from her vehicle and taken to a hospital. A passenger in the truck, Alan Marple, was reportedly seriously injured as well, according to troopers. The highway was closed for a time and traffic around the crash was diverted. The parks reopened around 3:15 p.m.
A former Fairbanks police detective spent a long day on the witness stand today, and he still may not be through answering questions. Aaron Ring was one of the lead investigators when 15-year-old Jonathan Hartman was brutally attacked on a Fairbanks street corner in 1997. He was called to testify in an evidentiary hearing that will determine if the Fairbanks 4 will get a new trial. Channel 2 Steve McDonald has an update now from Fairbanks.
The defense spent some 5 hours on Tuesday questioning former detective Aaron Ring about the Fairbanks Police Department's investigation into the death of Jonathan Hartman. Attorney Jonna Lindemuth said within 36 hours after the attack on Hartman, police had all their suspects, arrest warrants, and search warrants in hand. She questioned Ring about why investigators never considered other possible leads or suspects. But Ring says they did. He claims none of those leads panned out. Lindemuth also pressed Ring on his interrogation tactics. Ring admits that he lied about facts during questioning.
Do you think that telling a witness lies leads to the truth?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, yes. If they think you have more information than you actually do, sometimes that does make them tell the truth, yes.
Despite the questions, Ring says he still feels they got the right suspects in the 1997 murder case. Steve McDonald, Channel 2 News, Fairbanks.
The governor's gas line proposal took a big step forward today on the 11th day of a special legislative session. Channel 2's Austin Baird is in Juneau. He describes the latest step and also what we're expecting to happen next.
For more than a year, policymakers have been anticipating a decision that's behind this special legislative session. On Tuesday, the Senate did its part and passed Governor Bill Walker's proposal, sending the measure to the House for consideration.
Members, please proceed to vote.
This bill would cost the state a total of $157 million, paying for extra staff and for the state to take on a bigger role in the mega project. $68 million would go to pay pipeline company TransCanada to exit the project, making the state-owned Alaska Gasline Development Corporation an equal partner alongside BP, ConocoPhillips, and ExxonMobil. With a 16-3 vote, many senators say they are ready to put support behind the governor on this project. Still, 3 members who represent the Mat-Su Valley say they have concerns about the project's future.
That our administration needs to be supported. That they may have a little bit different ideas about how they want to advance a project. It's their ball. The baton has been traded off. The ball went down the field.
This is really a vote, a message, a vote of caution and concern to get our ducks in a row better as an administration.
Leaders from the House have expressed some concerns about the governor's approach to the gas line project, but they do say there are likely enough votes to get this specific proposal through. There's a floor session in the House tomorrow, and also the Senate is scheduled to go in on Thursday morning, potentially marking the end of this special session. In Juneau, I'm Austin Baird, Channel 2 News.
Well, my sources are telling me they're starting to see the northern lights over in Hope.
Yeah, I know. I hear we've gotten some in Eagle River even. Let's check with Jackie to see what our chances are here in Anchorage.
You stole my 2 lines.
Sorry.
I'm going to say them anyways. We have reports the northern lights are out from the Eagle River north of the Anchorage area all the way to Hope.
Sorry, Jackie.
That's okay. Thanks to some clearing this afternoon. Activity is very high, and if your area of the state has clear skies, there's a good chance you'll have overnight northern lights to enjoy if you're up late. Satellite and radar shows the extent of the clearing skies through the afternoon, and our current temperature out at Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport is 32 degrees with winds out of the south-southeast at 6. I say if something's good, let's repeat it.
It's good news, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. and Miss Redundant over here in the weather department. All right, thanks, Jackie.
That's okay.
All right, up next on the Late Edition, making a statement from a box fan. Hear how one man is promoting sober living.
And heroin may be on the rise, but one woman has learned how to beat her own addiction. We'll hear her story.
You're watching Channel 2 News with Mike Ross and Kaslyn Ash. This is the Channel 2 News Late Edition.
Last week we aired our series Heroin Rising, where we told you how one Southeast Alaska community is dealing with a rise in heroin-related deaths. Now a former user is coming forward to tell her story. This woman wanted to remain anonymous, so we refer to her in our story as Jane. She says if she can overcome heroin addiction, anyone can. There's no doubt about it. Users say overcoming a heroin addiction is hard. For this woman,
it hurts physically, it hurts mentally.
There's no exception. Jane says her story is a lot like others.
They properly diagnosed me, which was the reason that I was self-medicating with drugs. I started using hydrocodone. Hydrocodone led to Oxycontin. Oxycontin led to heroin. It took away my control. It took away my desire for life. It takes away the pain. It takes away the hurt of everyday problems, everyday issues that's life that you just have to deal with.
Jane eventually became homeless, even sleeping at Brother Francis' shelter sometimes.
Sleeping at Brother Francis' shelter is terrible. It's really hard.
But the worst part, losing custody of her kids.
Not having my daughter in my life is a major defeat, knowing that drugs took me to a place where I couldn't be a mother.
It's part of the reason why she wanted to get sober.
I just wanted to be happy with my kids. I wanted to be able to be successful and support them and be a mom.
According to the state, heroin-related deaths have tripled between 2008 and 2013. Jane didn't want to be a statistic.
I've been sober since June 27th, 2014.
She says it's the first time she's been sober since she was 12 years old. Today, she has a message for others who may be addicts.
To reach out to the community, to utilize every resource possible.
So they don't become statistics, too.
If I can overcome a drug use, that I can do anything. I feel unstoppable. It feels there's no comparison to being sober.
For Jane, she got help at Anchorage Community Mental Health Services. For a list of other community resources, you can head to our website, KTUU.com.
And while that woman beat her addiction, others are still struggling and face dangers of reusing old syringes. However, resources from the Alaskan AIDS Assistance Association, or 4As, allows clients to trade in used syringes for clean needles to help minimize the spread of disease.
The importance of providing those supplies is really to prevent the spread of HIV and hepatitis C, which are both long-term, very costly illnesses.
Last year, the program exchanged over 380,000 needles. So far this year, the program has seen more than 400,000 needle exchanges. All individuals who come in remain anonymous, and the group says that it sees about 70 new users each month.
Our two most popular age groups are 20 to 29-year-olds, and then 30 to 39-year-olds account for about 70% of the age group of our exchangers that come in.
Among information on other resources, 4As also provides IV drug users with information on the state's Good Samaritan law. That law protects callers and overdose victims from prosecution for drug possession.
It's one man's goal to combat addiction and raise awareness for sober living by living in a box truck. Robert Weber will stay in the box truck located at 611 West Tudor Road for 7 days or until he raises $100,000 for the organization called Sober Living. Sober Living Properties helps a person turn their life around.
Sober Living is here to provide quality, affordable housing where a person can come home and feel proud of their surroundings.
Weber is currently on day 3 of his campaign. Anyone can stop by his truck to donate money or a cup of coffee to keep him going.
A little chilly and a little snowy up there, Mr. Weber, huh?
I know, but at least we ended the day with some sunshine and blue skies and is ending in a clear night. Jackie's weekend forecast is looking great, too.
Hey, football fans, need a break from the big game? This Sunday, watch the Channel 2 News 5 o'clock report and NBC Nightly News on the all-new Justice Network during Sunday Night Football.
Oh, my goodness!
Just flip over to the Justice Network on Channel 2.2, Sunday at 5 o'clock for all the day's news, weather, and sports. Get informed, get caught up, then flip it back to Channel 2 for Sunday Night Football.
The Channel 2 5 o'clock report, Sunday at 5 on the Justice Network.
We received more than a degree from the University of Alaska. We experienced studying and living in a tobacco-free environment. Not only am I prepared for a tobacco-free workplace, I now have the experience and understanding to contribute to a tobacco-free culture. The business I own, the home I own, they both will be tobacco-free. UA knows that staying healthy helps you be competitive and it opens more doors to opportunity. And it all starts here at the University of Alaska, Anchorage.
Forward Focus on Child Hunger is an effort here in the region to make sure that our kids are getting enough to eat by providing more food to families in need. In 2014, our peanut butter drive collected over 30,000 pounds of peanut butter. And over the last 2 years, we provided over 1 million snacks and lunches in the Northwest. When kids have the nutritious food they need, they really can just be kids. The partnership between Ford Fund, local food banks, and the Boys and Girls Club is absolutely amazing. That's really what it means to go further.
Thanks to the generous blood donations of donors like you, we have helped generations of Alaskans in their time of need. As a new day dawns for the Blood Bank of Alaska, we ask for your continued support as we near completion of our new facility. keeping Alaska safe in times of disaster and providing state-of-the-art laboratory services to the entire state. Join us as we continue our 50-year tradition of helping Alaska patients in need. Donate to the New Building Fund today.
Now, Channel 2 weather with meteorologist Jackie Purcell.
Stormy clouds, and these are over the Port Graham area. Yes, they have quite the definition to them. Thanks, Viv Malkoff, for sending that in, and that is across the bay from the Homer area, right near Nonwallock. Thank you so much. Here's a look at the Anchorage area from snow showers in the morning to sunshine, and check out the beautiful sunset. It's a quick these days, isn't it? But we do see a very nice night here with clear skies and reports of the aurora being seen, not only to our north, but just to our south as well. So if you're in an area of the state that has clear skies tonight, boy, you're in for a treat if you're up late. Eagle River, you're at 19 degrees. We have the 20s across much of the east side of town, down through the south end, and 31 degrees here at our studios in the last hour. Well, we'll be watching the approach of this next storm system through the central Aleutians. Very gusty winds, hurricane force winds, 75-mile-per-hour gusts are expected, and seas anywhere from 20 up to 32 feet. So there are marine warnings as well. Here's a look at the forecast and the track of that storm right into the Bristol Bay area as it crosses the Aleutians. Wednesday, it'll be spreading some rain again into the southwestern portion of the state and into the south central area here by Thursday. So we have a bit of a break Wednesday before this storm system starts to impact us, and then it really sticks around through the end of the week. By week's end, we should see some clearing on the backside of that as we head into the weekend. Current temperatures across the state, 19 degrees at Fairbanks, one of its warmer temperatures, 11 right now in Dead Horse, 18 in Barrow. We'll see some gusty winds along the west coast as that storm system makes its approach and encounters the Bristol Bay coastal areas, 36 degrees in Bethel. Back into the south central area, we're at 40 degrees from Seward. And as you head east, there's still warmer temperatures at 37 degrees for Yakutat and also Valdez, 20 right now in Talkeetna. South to Kodiak Island, they're at 41. There'll be continued rain showers moving through the southeastern portion of the state through Wednesday, not only this evening, but on into Wednesday. But look at that. We see clear skies from the northern Susitna valleys all the way down through the southern end of the Kenai Peninsula. So a lot of the state's population has, at least in this region, has a good chance to see the forecast. There's more clouds and precipitation moving across southwest Alaska. Mostly it will be rain, but it's a rain-snow mix at times in the higher elevations. Here's a look at your forecast. As far as the outlook, it's partly sunny to mostly cloudy. High temperatures up to 38 degrees in Seward. We'll see winds out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour in the Valdez area. And high temperatures warmest around Kodiak. They're up to 44 degrees tomorrow. Glen Allen up to 20 by contrast. Here's a look at the forecast out of the Matanuska-Susitna Valley. And overnight lows will be into the 20s, high temperatures into the 30s, slightly above freezing in some areas. Are you wondering how much daylight we still have? Yeah, it's still at the 8-hour mark for tomorrow by 14 minutes or so, and 5.5 minutes lost. 5 minutes, 25 seconds, if I want to be exact. And I do. Partly cloudy skies for tomorrow, 33 degrees, and a high temperature on Thursday up to 35. And that's where we'll see that rain-snow mix move through, and winds also picking up for the Turnagain Arm and higher elevation locations. So they could be 45 to 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts at that location by Wednesday night into Thursday. But a break as we head into next weekend as well. So it's kind of a
roller coaster. At least we get a break to see the aurora tonight, possibly.
That's right.
So.
From south of us,
right,
Hope, and north of us, Eagle River.
And
That's
I just
right.
checked Facebook. Our Facebook friend Sheila Marie just sent in some spectacular pictures from Wasilla. So it's light with the skies in Wasilla.
As far north as Wasilla.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Jackie.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, from Alaska with love.
We're sending an Alaska tree to the U.S. Capitol. All they need now are some ornaments. If you were trying to get your winter tires on this morning, you probably found out real quickly you weren't the only one. Johnson Tire and Alaska Tire Service both told us they were full since this morning, with 150 people lining up to turn over their tires. Even though changing your tires is nothing new here in Alaska, shops say people typically wait until the first snowfall until they decide to change over. If you did not get your tires changed, many tire shops say wait times should go down later this week and be back to normal by next week.
It has been a season of new stores for Anchorage, and another is set to open its doors pretty soon. The California-based retailer North Face will have a 3-day grand opening starting this Friday. Officials with the retailer, which sports mostly outdoor and athletic gear, they say it's been eyeing the Alaska market for some time now. To find out more about the grand opening, you can go to our website, KTUU.com.
Washington, D.C. is getting a lot of gifts from Alaska this year. First, the 74-foot spruce that will adorn the Capitol's lawn. And today, a delivery of 4,000 handcrafted ornaments are on its way. It was a campaign started by the Chugach National Forest and Choose Outdoors. Companies, tribal organizations, students, and artists from across the 49th state helped create the ornaments to represent Alaska's natural and cultural resources.
We actually put the word out to community groups. We provided templates that were created by artists. But you know, community groups really took ownership of this project and really wanted to tell their story and kind of represent their culture, their communities, where they come from, and the landscape that they represent.
These ornaments will hang from the Capitol Christmas tree, set to arrive in Washington, D.C. November 20th.
All right, time now for sports. Kevin, what's going on tonight?
Well, volleyball's all the rage in Anchorage. We have the CIC tournament underway, plus a huge week for the number 11 Seawolves in both the GNAC and the region. They talk about it next.
And now, from Alaska's sports leader, here's Kevin Wells.
Can't really say it's a make or break week for 20-2 UAA volleyball, but the number 11 Seawolves can get a firm grip on the NCAA West region in its next 2 matches. With the GNAC, and the Seawolves will have a good chance to host the NCAA West regional tournament in early December. Now, to do that, UAA is going to have to emerge out of a 4-way tie in the conference standings. And 2 of those other 3 teams happen to visit Anchorage this week. Central Washington Thursday, Northwest Nazarene Saturday. And to place UAA's season record into some perspective, Chris Green says the best might be yet to come.
We have not been healthy until now, and so it's good to have all 12 people on the court right now at practice.
I think everybody's really excited. Hopefully we have another big crowd, big games, so hopefully that gets some fans in the seats. The energy that they bring is great. I mean, I know they feed off of our energy too, so the more big plays we make, the more they get into it. And I think just the noise, it really gets people pumped up.
Opening day of the CIC tournament, double elimination, but an early round loss really hurts here. Number 2 seed Diamond facing Eagle River. Game 1, the Lynx' Carly Bringman brings a little finesse, the first to the Lynx 25-16. In game 2, setter Teuilat Lolo tie. Oh, that is sneaky. All Lynx in the second, 25-8. So it's on to the third. Diamond completes the sweep. Check out Alyssa Peely with the heavy right hand. Diamond advances 25-12 in the third. The 4 versus 5 seed matchup, West Bartlett's. This one as close as the seedings imply. Game 2, Bears trying to tie this one up. Shirley Sayo finds the floor. 27-25 Bartlett in the second. The third also decided by 2. The Eagles' Mia Kaiser on game points. West up 2-1, 25-23. Now 24 all in the fourth. Rosie Rush and Danica Brown deny. West wins it a point later and survives in 4 tight games. In tonight's other first-round match, top seed South dispatches Service in 3 straight, 25-16, 25-17, 25-16. The Eagles are next for the Wolverines. Diamond moves on to face either number 6 seed Chugiak or East, the number 3 seed. That opening round match slated for tomorrow at 5:45. Channel 2 Sports is proud to present a half-hour special documenting the West High football team's run to the state title. Tune in Sunday at 8 p.m. for a championship season. Coach Tim Davis and 4 key seniors had a chance to join us in studio to rewind the Eagles' journey, dating back to last year's title game loss, through periods of domination, those back-to-back midseason losses, eventually culminating with a 6-game winning streak to bring the trophy back to West. A championship season following Sunday Night Football and then our early newscast, so approximately 8 p.m. on Channel 2 this Sunday. And the next state titles to be handed out come this weekend in swimming and diving. And that's the context of tonight's press box interview. We visited the Diamond Links, where head coach Scott O'Brien is hoping his boys can win a 7th consecutive state crown. The Diamond girls are also contenders. And to the links, the competitive drive comes from within.
No one wants to be the first group to lose, and so the wanting to continue that on has been kind of a motivation for them. They make it easy for me. I just stand here. They make me look good.
Full interview at KTUU.com. The Iron Dog equals an all-time record number of pro class entries. Sign-up deadline for the world's longest snow machine race passing over the weekend with 42 two-person teams committing. That ties the mark held by the 25th anniversary Iron Dog back in 2008. 7 previous winners are in the field, but among the new partnerships, defending champion Scott Feo is racing alongside 4-time winner Mark McKenna. Oh, that'll be interesting. A ceremonial start Saturday, February 20th, downtown Anchorage.
It was exciting. Thanks, Kevin. All right, coming up, grab your goggles and get ready for takeoff.
We're taking a flight on the breezy plane when we come back.
Okay, we all know that flying here in Alaska can be really extreme at times.
But imagine doing it in a plane that's been completely stripped of nearly everything.
There's nothing in front of you. All your power and your wings are all behind you. You're just the first one there. It's about as close to flying physically as you're ever going to get.
58-year-old Don Lee has been flying commercially in Alaska for more than 30 years, but last year he started flying a breezy aircraft based out of Talkeetna.
It has wings and a motor, and that's about it. Lee says the breezy plane is about as close that you can get to the Wright brothers planes. And like flying like a bird, too, pretty much.
Once in the air, the plane reaches speeds of 100 miles per hour. For the full story, you can head to KTUU.com for the first installment of Channel 2's Extreme Alaska series, and that is extreme.
Yeah.
And if you look in the sky tonight, you're going to see the aurora, right?
That's right. Take a look. We had this photo sent in to us from Eagle River. Charles Sather, thank you so much. But we've had reports to the south around Hope as well. And on your 7-day forecast, we have clear skies tonight and partly sunny skies tomorrow, so looking good.
All right, good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.